Come on and tap into the chat, tap into the chat, tap into the chat. And we are live in the flesh, ladies and gentlemen. I'm trying to get my camera trying to make sure I get my camera right. Dang, what's wrong with that? There we go. Trying to adjust my, that ain't right. Okay, there we go. Now that's tight. That's what she said. Come on in and tap into the chat, tap into the chat, tap into the chat. We are live, man. I got about a good hour with y'all. Cartier, what's going on? Long time no see. Got a good hour with y'all. Go ahead and discuss this, right? Once again, I appreciate that, Cartier. Like the vid, come on in and hit that like button. If you're new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Once again, the after pill is right, man. Once again, the after pill is right. I keep telling y'all, I told y'all what was to come in the United States of Babylon. I told y'all what was to come. I told y'all. I literally predicted this like 2 years ago, going on 2 years ago. Right? I already predicted this. We're gonna let more people go ahead and ease their way up in here so we can dive into the meats and potatoes. Right? While everybody's gathering on in, while the congregation's coming on in to the church, listen, more young men especially, are turning to extremism in America. This is what's going on. More young men are turning to extremism, right? This is just what's going on, right? I've predicted this for over 2 years, going on 2 years now. I said that this was going to happen, right? How society was lining up, Corey, what's going on? How society is lining up, how society is turning out, right? Everything that's stacked against young men right now, right? All the odds that young men have to beat, right? The way that the world is going, right? The world is really not even created or catered to men, especially in the Western world, right? We're talking about United States, Canada, right? Europe, on the Western side of the hemisphere, right? These societies are not catering to young men anymore, right? And remember, the workforce used to be a lot of blue collar workers, right? We're talking about anywhere between the industrial age all the way up until, 1980s, 90s, even possibly early 2000s. But by the 90s, when the dot-com era started to come in, right? A lot of those blue collar jobs, they started to do away with those because now they were implementing technology, they were implementing the internet, right? They were implementing things that they no longer, started making, factories and, plants more advanced. So they didn't need the common man anymore. And now we're in it full force. We're in it full force now. Now they don't need the common man at all. Welcome to the new world. Right? Young men are turning to extremism. I predicted this, right? When you take marriage away, right? When you take marriage away, when you take punani away, right? When your average Joe Smo can't get a piece of punani, the ninja can't even pay for it. The ninja ain't even got a couple dollars in his pocket to pay for a piece of punani, ninja. When you can't even pay for a piece of punani, when you take marriage off the table, when you eliminate jobs, when I can't even afford the American dream. I can't afford to buy a house. When you take all of those things into account, guess what you get? You get extremism. And then on top of that, you get people, on the internet who feeds into it. Listen, this is a whole market. This is the new market. I'm gonna tell y'all right now. Using or exploiting men's insecurities, right? Exploiting men's vulnerabilities, right? That is the new money play now, right? Everybody's running that play, right? Everybody's running that play now, right? We're going to feed into, listen, the reason why Trump got in, y'all got to understand, right? The red pill had been popping all through the pandemic, right? The red pill had been popping for at least 4 or 5 years, right? Right at its peak, it had peaked around probably like 2 years ago or maybe last year, right? So the red pill or the Manosphere is one of the biggest reasons why Trump even got elected, right? But the Manosphere, the red pill, it started off good, right? We already talked about this many times. The red pill, the Manosphere, it started off good, right? Right, trying to get men on the straight and narrow path, right? Telling men about women, telling men that, hey, this is the world, right? Nobody's coming to save you, blase, blase, blah. It started off good, but then men just got stuck, right? Men just got stuck. Go ahead and put this on. Dang, how do I do that? Oh, there we go. Put this on subscriber only mode. Right? So men got stuck with the red pill. That's why we continuously see more losers. Somebody said, Cartier said he need a pocket punani. Right? That's why we continuously seeing more losers. Right? Because men got stuck in red pill rage. The majority of men are stuck in red pill rage. Right? They don't know which way to turn. Right? American men are underskilled, undervalued. They don't get any kind of love. Right? The everyday Joe Smo don't get any kind of attention from most women, because most women are not checking for the everyday Joe Smo. Right? And we talk about this all the time. So guess what else they have to turn to? Right? Guess what else they have to turn to? Right? You got your Nick Fuenteses. You got your what's that dude name? You got your Fresh and Fits. Right? That's all they have to turn to now. Right? They don't have no one else. There are no real leaders left. There are no, well, besides the after pill, because I'm gonna tell the truth on all sides. Right? And then this behavior is predictable, especially amongst young white males. This behavior is predictable. You know why it's predictable? I'm gonna tell y'all why it's predictable. Because black young men went through this at peak in the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. That's why the behavior is predictable. I've already said this already. The young black men, especially in the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s, the young black men were the original incels. Y'all gotta listen. Y'all don't hear me. People don't want to pay attention, right? People don't want to pay attention. The young black males were the original incels. They were the original losers. Why? Because there were no men in households, right? Whether we talk about what the government did, whether we're talking about women choosing social programs over the men, whether we're talking about corporate America not wanting to push, the American black man into the workforce, blase, blase, blah. There were many different things going on. Right? So what did that lead to? That led to single mother households. Right? We already know what happens when a man is not in a household, especially for young men. We know what happens. Right? We know what happens. You get whores, and guess what? You get young men who want to lean in the streets or go in the streets. Right? And guess what they end up turning to? They turn to gangs, they turn to violence, they turn to crime. Right? Because they were never brought up by men who showed them the way. Right? So guess what we're seeing now? The same shit when we talk about, when we compare and contrast the crack cocaine epidemic, and now we're dealing with the fentanyl epidemic. Right? Fentanyl largely is affecting who? White youth. White people. Right? Who suffered the most during the crack cocaine epidemic? Right? It was black communities. Right? It was those communities. So this stuff is predictable. We're literally seeing the repeat. We're seeing things repeat, but now, like, the black community already went through the crack cocaine epidemic, right? We already went, still struggling with, actually, single parent households and, things of that nature, right? But this stuff is literally predictable. I keep telling y'all, the powers that be don't care about color anymore, ninja. They don't care about color anymore. They seen what they seen what they can do with the black community. They seen what they can do with the black community. They said, oh shit, we can garner this much control. We can erupt stuff like this. We can splinter them like this. Okay, we might as well cash in and push this across the entire population. Y'all gotta understand, this is bigger than color, ninja. I already told y'all what was gonna happen. The white young men are going to follow the same exact footsteps because they never had to deal with it. But now, guess what? Now they have to deal with marriages falling apart. Now they have to deal with single mother households on the rise. Now they have to deal with, you get what I'm saying? Now they have to deal with the things that are going on now. It's predictable. So guess what? You're going to have more young men turn into extremism. More, what's going on? Right? You're going to have especially more young white men turn into extremism. Young white men turn into extremism is the equivalent of the young black male turning to gang violence. It's the same thing. But you know what? Everybody makes it into a race issue. Oh, they're doing this and they're doing that. No, we're actually all in this shit together. Believe it or not, we're actually all in this shit together. But people don't want to understand. Right? People don't want to learn from what had already happened. People don't want to learn from history. This shit is predictable, right? The young black men, they didn't have two parent households. The young black men didn't have a strong male leadership to look at and say, hey, that's what I want to be, right? Unless we were talking about the neighborhood doctor, right? Or, some NBA players or NFL players or some rappers or something like that, especially in the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. But now, fast forward 2025, guess where we are now? There's no leaders for anybody. There's no leaders for the young white youth, and there are no leaders for the young black youth. I keep telling you, they don't want to get it. They don't want to understand it. That's why I keep saying that the young black men were the original incels. They were the original outcast. Young black men, especially during those time periods, they already dealt with this already. Right? Some fell to gang violence, some got incarcerated, and some made it out and created the families that they didn't see growing up. Right? So fast forward now, 2025, right? Now we have the white youth turning into extremism. That's just what it is. Aiden Smash said the crash out we are seeing is crazy. Snipers running over people, extreme crash. Bro, people are crashing out. Y'all thought I was playing? Y'all thought I was playing when I said that? I literally said over a year ago, we're going to see more violence from men. I literally said that. We're going to see more extreme violence. This shit is playing out like I'm the damn Houdini ninja. I literally said that this was going to be the result of lack of marriages. This was going to be the result of joblessness, homelessness, right? Men not having nowhere to turn. Bro, I know dudes right now, 30. I was talking to this dude at work, 30. Broski said that, bro, he sees, I was talking to him about women. Bro told me he sees no reason to talk to women, right? And I started talking to him about going overseas. I'm like, okay, sure. Maybe you don't want to talk to an American woman, right? I was like, bro, get you a plane ticket, right? You single, you don't have no children, bro, just get you a plane ticket and go somewhere out the country for a weekend. He was just like, I don't see no reason to leave out of Texas. I love Texas and this is where I want to be at. And, I just don't want to talk to girls. I'm like, Ninja, do you play for the other team, Ninja? He was like, no, I don't play for the other team. No, I don't believe in that stuff. I was like, okay, Ninja, so, Ninja, what's the problem, Ninja? Like, Ninja, you got something you want to reveal to me, Ninja? You just like, I just don't see the reason to talk to women. I'm like, bro, this is getting crazy, because that's not the first or second guy that has literally told me they don't want to talk to women, or they have no desire to talk to women. I'm sorry, but my testosterone is too high to let a beautiful not calling them that, but my testosterone is too high to let a beautiful young tenderoni pass me by. I gotta say something like, hey baby, hey, come over here, baby. Yeah, you look good and all. But I just want to tell you that you look good. You looking mighty fine in that dress, baby. You got a boyfriend? Okay, you do? Okay, well, let him know that he lucky. And I'm out here player hating, right? But Jesus Christ, these guys don't want to talk to women. They don't want to interact with women. I'm like, bro, what is going on? These ninjas are literally at home on the video games, in these chat rooms, right? Playing Call of Duty, right? Not saying there's nothing wrong. It's something wrong with playing video games or watching anime or things of that nature. But it's just like, where's the balance? Where's the manhood? Right? Where's the masculinity? And these are self-proclaimed conservatives. Like the dude said, he's a conservative, but dude is 30 talking about, I don't see no reason to talk to a woman, and he don't see no reason to even travel outside of the country or outside of the state. I'm like, yeah, we doomed. Yeah, this ninja probably somewhere trying to build a bomb somewhere. No, let me not play like that. But yeah, this ninja probably somewhere building a bomb. Like, yeah, I'm gonna get these ninjas. Yeah, they playing around. I can't get no bitches. I can't get no punani. Ninja. Bro, that's really what the problem is. Lou says, for real, no balance in their lives, and they're not properly socialized at all. Like, a lot of guys are weird. I didn't know. And it seems to have gotten worse even just this past year. It has gotten worse just this past year. I'm interacting, especially with guys who are a little bit younger than me, right? So I'm 29, so I'm talking about, they may be 22, 23, 24, something like that. And, these guys are just socially freaking awkward. The girls too. Don't get me wrong. The girls too. A lot of these girls are socially awkward too. But the men are for sure socially awkward. And I'm like, bro, what is going on in the world? How in the hell has everybody has just turned into a weirdo? Everybody has turned into a weirdo. But then y'all wonder why extremism is on the rise. Right? Moy says that's a very scared conservative. Man, listen, boy. I got some videos. I was watching this video that I'm probably going to do a reaction to. It was this video, and one of those videos where they walking up to him on the street with the mic, right? Street interviews. So the dude walked up to him and basically they was asking him questions, and they were like, "Hey, are you more conservative or are you more liberal?" Right? Literally, this guy is with his girl. This guy is with his girl. They answered at the same time. He said conservative, and she said liberal. Bro, I'm telling y'all. Bro, there is no coming back from this. Literally, they had to be around 24, right? They answered at the same time. Hey, do you consider yourself conservative or do you consider yourself liberal? Right? They answered at the same time. Liberal, conservative. And they just looked at each other, and he started grinning, and she just started busting out laughing. And I'm like, bro, this is the relationship dynamic in America. If you do even get into a relationship, right? 9 times out of 10, if you're under 35, more than likely, you're going to get with the woman who is, bro, she's going to be liberal. I already said this. Even your conservative women in America, are not even conservative. They're liberals. A lot of people don't want to hear this. A lot of people don't want to believe this, but it's true. There's not that many, bro. There's a very small percentage. And if you've been tuning into my lives, I broke down those percentages before. Most women in America are not truly conservative. right? A lot of men can't even say that they're truly conservative, right? I've seen quote unquote liberal women, bro. I've seen not liberal women. I've seen quote unquote conservative women, bro. They disrespect their husbands. They're running a household, right? They're talking to their husband any kind of way, talking about their husband in a disrespectful manner outside of the house. Bro, it is not what y'all think it is. It is not what y'all think it is. A lot of these conservative women, right, conservative men, man, these dudes are cucks behind closed doors, and they bitches be running them behind closed doors. I've seen this up close and personal. So when y'all say, I want me a conservative woman, bro, you ain't getting it. Ninja, you ain't getting it. Right? 99% of women are liberals. Yeah, that's just the facts. You can't, bro, there's no way that women can stay in America and not be liberal. There's no way, to some extent. Now, I'm not saying that they're flaming liberals, right? Ready to go scorched earth on every man that they see. They're not flaming liberals. However, they lean more so liberal than they are conservative, right? They may agree with more conservative because it benefits them, especially if the man is taking on a household, especially if he's paying all the bills. Then yeah, she'll play that conservative role all day long. Right? She'll put on the act all day long, bro. Women are the biggest actors in the world. Don't y'all not understand? She'll put on that conservative mask all day long. Yeah. Yep. We voted for Trump. We voted for Trump and we love him. We love Trump. I voted for him 3 times. We voted for Trump 3 times. When she get around her girlfriends, she be like, oh my God, I hate this ninja. She get around her girlfriends and be like, yeah, I voted. He was watching me closely. I wanted to vote for Kamala. I wanted to vote for Kamala, but he has been on me like a hawk. He has been on me like a hawk. And I just couldn't do it. Right? So I checked Trump. I checked the box. I checked Trump, but that's not what I wanted to do. You know how Brian is. You know how Brian is. Ninja. Bro, come on now. I seen this shit close up and personal, man. Y'all keep thinking, listen, y'all keep thinking that y'all are gonna get submissive. No, you're not. Y'all think y'all gonna get conservative? Bro, halfway. Y'all gonna get halfway conservatives, and bro, she's only gonna be submissive in bed. When she out there in them streets, or when y'all out there in those streets, well, she running the show. She running the show for a show. You ain't running nothing outside of the household. Now, when she bending over and throwing that thing back or opening up her legs, then yeah, that's when she's submissive. She only submissive in the bed. Right? But outside of that, ninjas don't be running nothing. And that's on both sides. You ninjas who got flaming liberal girlfriends and you ninjas who got quote unquote conservative girlfriends. Right? Bro, the only time you're gonna probably get truly submissive, bro, if you go out of the country. That's it. I just gotta call it how shit. You gotta go out of the country. A lot of ninjas don't want to hear that. Because the thing is, the only way that you're going to get submissiveness, right, if you have one, it comes down to culture. Then 2, you have to have an extreme amount of leverage. Right? Would it be fair to that it's only the Asians not being crazy in America? I was just... depends on who we're talking about. It depends on which Asian we're talking about, right? Are we talking about the Chinese spies, Ninja? Are we talking about the Chinese spies, right? Or who we talking about, Ninja? Because just because they quiet don't mean they ain't wrecking havoc, Ninja. People do things differently. People wreak havoc differently, right? While they over there quiet as a dang on mouse, right? Yeah, Asia's not known to pew pew. One, they're a very extreme minority in America, first and foremost, right? There are not that many Asians, percentage-wise, in America. Secondly, they too busy. Ninja, the way Asia dominate, Ninja, they take you on economically, Ninja. Asians fight a completely different way, Ninja. They come into your country and buy all the farmland, Ninja. That's how they play it. they like these Ninja. Oh, hey, the white man want to play with me? All right, Ninja, we're gonna buy up all their farmland. That's what they've been doing. Oh, you want to play with they? Guess what they're gonna do? They're gonna dominate your whole tech sector, Ninja. Right? And then use that to spy on your whole country, Ninja. That's how they play it. That's how the Asians play it. They play the long game. They not worried about shooting up shit. They hacking shit. They hacking into banks, hacking into social security numbers, hacking into the Department of Defense or the Department of War, Ninja. Right? You say, how come they don't get involved in American politics? Basically because of what I just said. They don't get involved in American politics because they play a different game. They play a different game. They play a totally different game, right? Asians play the economic game. They play the economic long game, right? They don't play politics. They're not even known for getting into politics. That's not the type of games that they play. They play the money game, right? They play the long game. They play economic domination games. That's how Asians play. That's how they come at it, right? They'll wait a whole 30, 40 years before they dominate you, right? China will sit back and write a whole 200-year plan. China will sit back and wait for the fall of America. That's how diabolical they are. The woman, listen, just because you're a conservative woman, that doesn't mean that everybody else is. You have to disagree. I have to disagree with you. Ma'am, what is your disagreement? Did I say all women? Oh, you talking about that. They do get involved in politics. We had an Asian run for president last term. Yeah, true. I mean, but does that really count? Does Ramaswamy really count, Ninja? Does Ramaswamy really count? Does he really Does he really count, Ninja? No, I'm just playing. But I get you. But yeah, man. A lot of men. This is the route that a lot of men are going for. A lot of men are headed down this route of extremism in views, right? Extremism in beliefs, right? And many will turn to extremism in violence. Because listen, I blame Punani for all of this. But hear me out. I blame Punani for all of this, right? Imagine, now, just hear me out. Imagine if men in bulk, imagine if men in mass, if we weren't dealing with what we were dealing with now, right? The decline of marriages, especially amongst, once boomers die, and once Gen X start to fade off too, we're going to see the true numbers. But especially when boomers die. When boomers die, we're going to see the true number of marriage rates. And it's absolutely astronomical, right? It is lower than what is even being projected right now, right? The bulk of the marriages are the boomers right now. They make up the bulk of the percentages of long-term marriages right now. Once boomers die, we're talking about a 40 to 60% drop. 40 to 60% drops. Right? Just watch. But I blame Punani for this. Imagine if men in mass wasn't dealing with what they're dealing with. All the women aiming for the top 10, the top 20% of men. Right? Imagine if men in mass were getting married and able to buy a house, get a good job to be able to afford just even the bare necessities in life. Imagine if men in mass in America were able to do that right now, right? And to be able to have some at-home pocket Punani, right? Imagine that. But they aren't. They aren't able to do that. Why? Because they can't even compete. They can't even compete, right? Not true tap. Monks don't be slang and they're not violent. You're mixing two different things. Monks want to be monks. That point is totally going over your head. Monks want to be monks. At any given day, they can walk down that mountain, ninja, and pay for some punani or get some punani, ninja. They're not in exile by force. They're not in exile by force. No, they want to be monks. These ninjas don't want to be monks. They want to get laid, ninja. What are you talking about? You 23, 24, 25, ninja. You want some punani, ninja. You ain't talking, you don't care what the dang on the monk ninjas doing in the Himalayas. You don't care about nothing going on in the Himalayan mountains. You trying to get laid and make some money. But many young men, they can't make any money. They can't compete. Bro, and I'll take it as far as far as this, right? Because we know the discrepancy between young men largely identifying with being conservative, right? And young women largely identifying with being liberal or leaning more left, right? Here's the thing. I'll take it this far. Listen, young men who identify with being conservative, they can't even afford to identify as conservative. Yep, I said it. The young men who identify as conservative, these ninjas can't even afford to identify as conservative. They can't. They can't. That's why I keep saying, bro, a lot of men are not really conservative. A lot of young men that you can't even afford to identify as conservative. Many of the conservative young men are just incels with beliefs. Nora, what's going on? Right? JLW said young men are dangerous. These old men keep talking shit. They will be scared, and women as well. Hey, it is what it is. But the young men, they can't even afford to be conservative. Right? Because what is the conservative beliefs, right? What is the core of being a conservative, right? When it comes to relationship, when it comes to being in a relationship, the primary one is, right, provider, right? You have to be a provider. Can your everyday conservative man afford to be an entire provider today? No, they can't. Right? What else? A protector. Right? These ninjas are either overweight or underweight, ninja. These ninjas are not even in shape. Not even in shape. They can't bust a fly. Right? They can probably shoot from a distance. Right? But Jesus Christ. The Hoarder family says providing doesn't always mean paying for every single thing. Well, by definition, it mostly does. See, I don't want to talk to a woman who's already put up in the house. You don't stand for what's really going on. I don't care nothing about what you're talking about, man. You're put up. The Hoarder family, you're put up. You can't talk. I'm telling you what young men are going through today. You can't sit up here and say, well, this, that, and the third, blah, 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 right? Come on now. She said, the Hoarder family said that's such a liberal mindset. Being 100% provider is a liberal mindset. Listen, that's why you don't let women come in here and talk, man. This is why you don't let women come in here and talk. They come in here with this bullshit, gonna tell men what the hell we talking about. What the hell we are. Please. In this day and age, you can't. Isn't being a provider important? Yes, it's important. The chicks will tell you it's important. The hell? In this day, she said, in this day and age, you cannot. Yeah, we understand that. That's why ninjas can't afford to be in relationships. Ninja just said that. Yeah, ninjas can't afford to pay. Ninjas can't afford to pay, so they can't afford to be in relationships. See, I'm saying in this day and age, it's not possible to provide. I was saying you can still have those values without attaining that yet. But what you are missing, ma'am, this is why you don't let women come in here and talk, man. That's why you don't let women come in here. They got to sit down and listen, right? They got to sit down and listen to a real one. Because a lot of them, they just be babbling off at the mouth, right? Just because, well, what'd she say? I'm saying in this day and age, it's not possible to provide. Exactly. So why do you think women are trying to get with the guys who can? And when you break down the numbers, ma'am, guess what? The majority of men can't, especially young men. Women already said that they don't want to be with a Build-A-Bear. I'm telling you what's going on in real life. I talk to men on a daily. I work with men. I work with younger men and I work with older men. I've heard all of the stories I need to hear. I've heard the good stories. I've heard the bad stories. Guess what the majority is? Right? I'ma yell as long as I want to. This is my shit. See, y'all see what I'm saying? Y'all see what I'm saying, right? You see what I'm saying when I say a good majority of women, they're not truly conservative, right? They're not truly conservative. See, usually, if you really talk about strict conservatism, right? A woman's supposed to come in here and sit down and shut the hell up, to be honest with you, right? You don't get to come in here and dictate how men think, no matter which way we're thinking. Right? This is usually how you can tell what's going on in the household, right? She popping off at the mouth. She got too much of an opinion. Coming in here popping off. No, this is not how you do. That's not what it is. Bitch, shut up. Sit down. Learn something. Give you little 2 cents and sit back and shut up and let me explain. But I already told y'all, most of these women are not really conservative. Conservatism is out the door. Right? You even see it with the politicians. Them bitches ain't really conservative. Right? They're cosplaying. They're putting on a mask. Right? They want to be able to pop off at the mouth, give their opinion, right? Talk all this shit, talk all they smack, give their strong opinion, and then, well, I'm still conservative, bitch. No, you're not. Stop playing. No, you're not. Come on now. I told y'all, it's always going to reveal itself. I know exactly what I'm talking about. And she up there trying to give her 2 cents on what's going on out here. Girl, you don't know nothing what's going on out here. You put up in a house, right? Stay in the house and shut up, right? Be glad that you got a husband who taking care of you and doing what he's supposed to do. I hope he's doing what he's supposed to. But how you talking, you probably hitting him upside the head. And just like, come on now. Come in here talking that shit. GLW says, as a young black man myself, we can't afford anything at all. A lot of men are homeless. Literally, I've never seen a homeless woman. Bullshit. Bullshit, ninja. You ain't never seen no homeless woman. Ninja, I see them all the time. Walking in between pumps. Ninja, I paid for a woman's gas the other day, like last week. She was walking in between pumps, right? Walking in between pumps, and she just came up to me and she was like, please, sir, like, please, like, just, I was like, man, I'm gonna get my blessing some other way. So I went on and paid for her gas, right? And a week before that, I had another lady, she pulled up in front of me. She had her daughter in the car talking about, we just need to get home, right? Ran out of gas. And I was just like, baby, I was working. I was like, I can't do it right now. Can't do it right now. So you talking about, you don't see women, you see women who are not homeless. I've seen more and more homeless women. Because you got to realize, man, when the marriage rates are plummeting, right? When you get more single women, especially elderly, I also see more elderly women on the streets as well. When you get women who stray away from marriages, right? When you got the marriage rates plummeting, right? When you have more women living on their own, you have more women living on their own, mind you. Remember that article that they dropped talking about some more single women bought more homes than single men. Remember that? Now, all that is coming crashing down, right? When foreclosures go up, when bankruptcy goes up, guess who's also a part of that number? Guess who's actually more a part of that number? It's going to be the women, right? It's going to be the women. And it has already been statistically proven that in downturns in markets, right, women will be some of the first to get laid off. Women will be some of the first ones to go, right? Because they know that men will work all day long, right? They usually don't have any family obligations, right? And if they do, it really doesn't matter because, you know, usually the woman is the caretaker, right? So women are usually some of the first ones to go when it comes to layoffs and all of that whatnot in a downturn market. So no, there is a lot of women on the streets right now with kids as well, right? Conservative ladies who bear single and need a Christian sugar daddy DM me. This ninja crazy. Women are nuts. They rather have roommates instead of husbands. I'm telling y'all. Bro. I was talking to bro. It was a new hire. Right? And I think she is 17. I think she's 17. It's literally what she said. She said at 17, she said, I have no desire. She was like, I have no desire to get with a man, right? She said, I have no desire to create a family or any of that. I just want to, you know, make my money and travel the world. Like, I don't look up to marriages. I don't do anything. And this girl comes from a two-parent household, all of that. And another girl I talked to, again, she was 19. She's 19. And she said the same. She said one of the same things. She was just like, you know, I don't really care for relationships like that. Not anything serious. I just want to get my money and boom, boom, boom. If something happens, cool. But I'm not really looking to have kids or anything like that. This is the mindset. This is the mindset of the majority of women, especially Gen Z. But y'all keep trying to beat this conservative drum, bro. That shit is dead, bro. That shit is dead. Y'all keep beating this conservative drum. Yeah, we're gonna ban abortions. Then they're not gonna lay on their backs. Bullshit, right? Oh, and then we're gonna do this. We're gonna bring back the old law, right? We're gonna shame them and we're gonna pull out the Bible. We're gonna pull out the Bible and tell them that they going to hell. We're gonna tell them that they going to hell. Ninja, they don't give a fuck. These bitches will ride dick in the flame, ninja. Shouts out to Op Hunter. Women life get real harder when they age out. Yeah. But then that depends on who you're talking to. Because you got some older ladies. You got some older ladies, some nice young older ladies, right? 40, 50 years old, and they living their best life, ninja. They making six figures, ninja, right? They got a little boo thing that they call up, dig them out here and there. Right? They traveling the world. They in France, ninja. They in Jamaica, ninja. They in wherever else in the world, ninja. Right? The Caribbean, ninja. Like, bro, y'all gotta realize, bro, a lot of women ain't really. Y'all remember this whole movement we went through with the red pill. Oh, you're gonna die alone. Y'all gonna die alone. Y'all bitches gonna die alone. Blah, blah, blah. Bro, I'm gonna tell you right now, bro, there's more men that are gonna be fucked up and misconstrued dying alone than women. I'm gonna tell you that right now. More women are cool. I'm telling y'all. Hey, this man said these chicks becoming passport girls. Facts. Man, these chicks got passports way before these niggas get passports. Bro, they traveling, they done hit 10 countries, and you niggas y'all still working at Jigaloo, ninja. Ninja, you still trying to figure out how can I get married, ninja? I'm trying to find me a good one. Ninja still talking about I'm trying to get married, ninja. Where the good ones at, ninja? Like, they visiting 10 countries, ninja. Not studying you, ninja. Like, dudes are so stupid. Like, men hit this wall, right? Men have hit this wall where they don't even know where to go, man. They don't even know where to go, right? Moy says they have never cared. They don't care anymore. Yeah, that, like, bro, y'all keep trying to beat this. Y'all keep trying to beat a dead horse. I'm telling y'all right now, bro. I talk to both men and women on a daily, bro. Even when it comes to young women, they do not care. I'm telling you, they are complete savages. I already told y'all this already. They are complete savages, right? Y'all think they're just so just warm and buttery, right? Warm and soft and loving, bro. They are cutthroat. They don't give a damn about no relationships. They for sure don't care about no dang on marriage. They don't care about what's the name? Having no children. They don't care. They don't care. They don't care. The majority of women don't care. If they do luck up and end up getting with a top 10, top 20% guy, then yeah, they'll do all of it. They'll do all of it. They'll have the babies, ninja, right? They'll be put up in the house as long as you paying for it, ninja. As long as you paying for it. Right? Come on now. They do not care. Y'all talking about, yo, y'all gonna die alone and y'all gonna hit the wall. Ninja, y'all gonna hit the wall. Ninja, bro, these old broads, they getting bust down too, ninja. And guess who busting them down? Some youngin'. Coach Kev said, that's why I don't care the same way they don't care. Yeah. That's how you gotta move. One, you gotta have the leverage, right? Because you not caring don't matter. like that's why you gotta have the leverage, because ninja, you not caring, that don't serve no purpose either. Right? But when you got some leverage and you can have your pick of the litter, because they're still women at the end of the day. They still want to pick, they still want to live lifestyles. They still want to, get around the system. They still don't want to pay for this, don't want to pay for that, right? They still want a guy who can afford this and afford that. They still want those guys. Don't get it wrong. Don't get it twisted. They still want Chad. They still want the Tyrones, right? They want the Chads and Tyrones with the money though, right? Opponent says, if you want to have a long marriage, you better have lots of money and big house to hide in. Best get rich and travel. Yeah, that's your best bet. That's your best bet. Because many of you, you're not gonna have the privilege of finding something like the woman that came in here. She was popping her shit, right? When she was saying that, it's not all about this and all about that, right? You don't have to pay for everything, right? Most men won't have the privilege of getting a woman who is going to be with him until he builds something. That's not a reality for 99% of men. In 2025, ninja, that is a fairy tale. To get a woman that's going to stick by you until you build, ninja, that is a fairy tale, ninja. The majority of men will never get that. Right? That's why so many men are single. That's why so many women are single. Right? The women want the man put together. Rightfully so. To me personally, I don't have an issue with that. I don't have an issue with that. Because you know what? What I continue to say, I said, when it's time for my daughter to get married off, I'm not going to marry her off to a guy who is just building, ninja. Right? If she want to be with a guy who's just building, right? She getting cut off. Nope. Because that's not what I want for you. Right? You want to go out there and struggle? All right, go out there and struggle then. Right? Holla at me back when you learn your lesson. But for me, I'm not marrying my daughter off to a ninja that's building. No. I'm marrying her off to a guy who is established, who's learned the lessons, who's learned the games of life, right? Who have some motion, right, in the world right now, who's got his footing, who's made the mistakes already, learned from it, and he got a little change in his pocket. That's how you're supposed to do that. Right? So I don't have a problem with it. I understand it. Right? Because I know for me, all I have to do is put myself in a leveraged situation. Right? You want money? I mean, you want pretty women? You want to be around beautiful women? Put yourself in a leverage. I know it sounds simpler than, actually doing it, but yeah, put yourself in a leverage situation. Go monk mode. Right? Go off the grid. Stop trying to take chicks on dates. Right? Chicks that you're not about to get any punani from. Stop taking chicks on dates. Stop trying to cold approach women. Ninja. right? And go monk mode. But you know the thing is, men don't want to go monk mode. They want to have it their way, like Burger King ass ninjas. They want to have it their way, right? That's why ninjas crashing out. They picking up snipers, ninja. Ninjas picking up snipers. Ninja can't handle a conversation, ninja. Ninjas don't want to talk no more, ninja. Ninja talk. They all on the news talking about all you got to do is have a conversation. You don't have to pick the gun up. You don't have to pick the gun up. All you got to do is have a conversation. Ninja, have y'all seen these ninjas, ninja? Have y'all seen these ninjas? They socially awkward, ninja. They don't want to have a conversation, ninja. They crashing out. Right? The old heads don't know what the hell is going on. I don't see why would this ninja pick up a sniper, ninja, because these ninjas are socially awkward, ninja. They're weird. They don't get it. But the boomers never get it, bro. That's why the country is in shit. The boomers still think this is 1965, bro. The boomers still think this shit is 1965. Right? Trying to hold on to the old guard, bro. The old guard is gone. Ninja, the old guard is gone. Kel said because they want to be rage baiters. The old guard is gone, man. Right? Y'all better wake up and smell the coffee. Right? And y'all better stay on y'all P's and Q's because you're going to have more and more young men. That's why I don't even, bro, when it comes to arguments and stuff like that, bro, I stray away from it. I stray away from it because a lot of men are just ready to crash out. They're ready to crash out for political reasons. Ninjas just ready to crash out because they want to blame it on a certain race or they want to blame it on certain individuals, right? The immigrants, ninjas just ready to crash out, man. Right? They want to crash out. You got ninjas in marriages, ninja like he on his last leg, ninja. His wife done pissed him off, ninja. He ready to shoot up the whole place, ninja. The Allen Show, what's going on? He said America is an embarrassment today. Yeah, man. But this ain't the end though. This ain't the end. We got more bullshit to go through. Culture Kev said more young men are running around with AR-15s. Bro, I'm going to tell you right now, to solve this issue, these ninjas just need some punani. I'm telling you, bro. I know what men need. I know what men need. These ninjas just need some punani. That's all they need. These ninjas are going through it because they can't get any punani. I'm telling you, bro, you can't tell me that, bro, ninjas who are getting some punani on a regular and who's getting some money in their pocket, bro, they are not about to be crashing out and hanging out the truck with AR-15s. I'm telling you that right now. If dudes had a piece of ass that was throwing that thing back, I'm talking about bow, bow, bow. I'm talking about putting his ass to sleep, right? And she was giving him that Gok 3000. I'm telling you right now, that ninja, he'll go to work and go home. Do you hear me? He will go to work and go home. Ninja ain't trying to crash out, ninja. You like, ninja, I gotta go to work. She just sucked the hell out of me, bro. I need to get her this. I need to get her that. I need to work some OT, ninja. I don't know. Like, the bitch might be pregnant. I got a baby on the way. I gotta go work some extra OT. Ninjas ain't got time to be out here crashing out. Bro, these ninjas who want to crash out, they have nothing to lose, which is a large portion of men, unfortunately. Frank Sinatra. A large portion of men, unfortunately, they don't have much to lose. Right? They don't have much to lose. So when you see men out here crashing out and they ready to go off the deep end, bro, just know that he ain't got no piece of punani at home. I'm telling you. Not even a piece of punani at home. The ninja can't get punani. He can't get play. Ninja can't even afford $140 for a little quick visit, man. Ninja's out here messed up. Ninja can't even go on the website and be like, maybe this one. Ninja don't even have $150 to his name to be able to, right? Scratch his back. Right? Scratch that itch. Ninjas don't even have anything in their pockets, man. I'm telling y'all, it's messed up out here. And the economy don't make it any worse. The economy actually makes it worse. Moy says, in JUCO we trust. Right? Ninjas don't even, the economy makes it even worse. So relationships get even worse, right? Because now women are strictly, they're hyper selective, right? So the economy, a bad economy makes women hyper selective, right? You think they're about to give your bomb ass some attention, ninja, right? Her nails done, toes done, her hair done. She got on a nice fit, right? She taking care of herself, her eyebrows done and all that stuff. She got a little light makeup on. Then here your bum ass walking up to her, ninja. You work at Jiffy Lube, ninja. She ain't put that shit on for you to approach her, ninja. No, ninja. She want the baller to approach her, ninja. She said where the rich ninjas at, ninja. She want the doctor to approach her. She want the attorney to approach her, right? She want the dope boy to approach her, right? She want the guy hopping out the Benz to approach her. She don't want you to approach her. Ninja, you think she look all pretty for a regular daggler, ninja? No, she doesn't. She don't want you, ninja. Right? At best, she gonna use you for attention. At best. That Arrow King said, ninjas can't even afford Wi-Fi to download a porn video, bro. Please. Come on now. I was talking to this one dude. He talking about if he ain't work if he missed a day at work, he said his check was gonna be $500. I'm like, bro, what? Ninja, if I miss a day, my check ain't gonna be $500. Best believe it. If I just miss a day, right? This ninja said if he missed one day at work, he said his check gonna be looking like $500. If your check gonna be looking like $500 out of a 40-hour work week, ninja, you need to, yeah, it's time to reevaluate some things, my boy. It's time to reevaluate some things, my guy. I'm like, sheesh, bro. I don't remember it. I don't remember being like that since like early 20s, ninja. I'm talking about 18, 19 years old, ninja. First job kind of shit. Like, yeah, it's bad out here, man. It's bad out here. But ultimately, I just want y'all to know I said it first. I just want y'all to understand that I said it first. I said that more men were going to turn to extremism. I said it. I said, we're going to see, if y'all were with me probably a year ago, right? I aired a documentary that were talking about the rise of incels, right? It was talking about the rise of incels, and these were young men, right? These were young men. I'm talking about 13 years old, 14 years old, 15 years old, right? Young men, you know, in chat rooms talking about, you know, offing women, right? Getting rid of women and all kinds of stuff. Like, it's crazy. And I said, and I aired that video, and I said, like, this is the future. This is going to be the future. The future of young men is to hate women. That's going to be the future, right? We're already there. The future of young men is to hate women, right? Because here's the thing. They can't get, men are upset because they were taught the old way, right? They're not taught the after pill. They're not taught the after pill. They're not taught the free agent lifestyle, right? And many of these guys, they don't know anything about MGTOW either. Best believe it. Y'all think MGTOW is just popular. It's really not. There's only a small portion of men who are going down these routes, who are going the free agent lifestyle, who are taking the after pill, right? Who are going MGTOW. There's very few men who are actually going that route, right? The rest of the men, they're still hoping and believing that they're going to get married. And then the dudes who do get married, they get effed, right? Because they were so quick to think with their digging stick and not think with their brain, right? They just got with the first chick that was nice to them, right? Mr. Rational 13 said, LOL, all of these professional men you just mentioned ain't hollering at them no more at all unless they just thirsty like that. What do you mean? All of these professional men you just mentioned ain't hollering at them? That's not true. That's not true. I was just talking to a pretty little thing, right? Pretty little thing, right? 8. She was a cool 8. She was just telling me how she was talking to, what's her name? the orthodontics at her office, and all of that stuff, right? So that's not necessarily true. I know plenty. I know a girl I work with now who's getting bust down by one of the Dallas Cowboys players. So that's not true. She a regular chick. She got a big old dump in the trunk though. But she was telling me, I forgot his name, but yeah, she getting bust down. She go to his condo and everything, get bust down. She just a little toy. She know that, but she get bust down by an NFL player. So that's not true at all. I've met plenty of women who get that treatment. So that's not true, right? I don't know what Tony 2 times talking about. Less than 5% of men, to be exact. Yeah. You talking about free agent? You talking about free agent and the After-Pill MGTOW? Yep. Because guys are not traveling like that, right? Dudes think the United States is like the dang on sun. They think the United States is the sun, right? That the world revolves around the United States. It's not true. The world is bigger, much bigger than the United States of America, right? Much bigger than the United States of America, right? But most men are going to live and die on that hill, still trying to get married. I want a wife. I want to have kids, ninja. Okay, that's cool and all, ninja. You can get that. Just go overseas, ninja, and you can get a better outcome if you go overseas, especially if you're in a leveraged position. Ninjas don't want to listen. Now you can still get your ass screwed overseas too. Don't get it messed up and misconstrued. You got some vultures overseas too. So, but you're in a more leveraged position, right? And in many of these places, they also have more, regardless of what's going on around them, still have more family oriented, culture. And you can get that done, right? You can get that done, right? If you want kids, don't bring it to the States. I'm telling you right now. If you actually want to get married, I would say don't even get married on paper. I would say don't even get married on paper. Don't get married on paper, right? Have some paperwork set aside, some actual legal documents set aside, like, hey, like I'm gonna do this and that for you. Right? If you were to have my children, this and that will happen, right? And if this were to happen, if we were to separate, this is how we're gonna do this, that, and a third, right? Have a mediator right there, an attorney right there, make sure that paperwork is solid, boom, boom, boom. But I wouldn't sign papers with any government, right? You can still be attached to a woman and not have that legal paperwork. Right? That's where a lot of guys get effed up at, that paperwork. I agree. Who wants a bust down? That was my point. We spoke past each other. Okay. You said, hold up now, Mr. Rational. You said, who wants a bust down now? Now, a lot of these guys are married to bust downs. A lot of these guys are married to bust downs. They're married to 304s. Their girlfriends are 304s. Bro, I know guys who identify as conservative, man, and they chicks are on go. Bro, these guys are so desperate out here. They're so fast to claim political affiliation. I'm a conservative. I'm talking about chick be a full-fledged hoe. I'm like, yeah, all right, boy. Yeah, all right, boy. Yeah, you're a conservative, all right. You're a conservative, all right. And it's ridiculous, man. It don't even matter. You got some soft ass lefty men who chicks are on go, right? And you got some soft ass conservative guys who chicks on go too. I've seen it all. Right? And it really don't matter, because if you're talking about the large majority of women lean left who are liberal, right? It doesn't matter if they get with a conservative dude or if they get with another a liberal dude. It don't matter. The women are gonna remain liberal. They're not changing that. That's not going anywhere. So it doesn't matter. But what makes it bad is the conservatives, right? The ones who identify with conservative, right? They push their stuff aside, or push what they supposedly supposed to stand for aside, just to get with the woman, right? And this has been done. There's plenty of videos on this, right? Even on dating sites, dudes are hiding the fact that they're hiding their political affiliations just to get dates. That's how bad it is. That's how bad it is. That's how bad it is. Dudes are taking down their political affiliation just to get dates, just so they can go on a date with a woman that they claim that they don't identify as or identify with. But if you have 80 to 90% of women who I truly identify, I would say 100%. I would say 100% of women identify on the spectrum being a liberal. That's just me. But to be fair, let's just say 80% of women, identify as liberal. You're talking about the majority of the pool. You're talking about a majority of the pool. And then when you talk about age ranges, if you're talking about under 35, that's definitely 100%. If you're talking about Gen Z, that's for sure 100%. You ain't getting nowhere with no woman talking about some Trump this, MAGA this, conservative this. Hell no. You gotta take that shit off your profile, or you gonna have to go to the other side, ninja. Pause, no Diddy. Right? Pause, no Diddy. But it is what it is, man. But like I said, I predicted this. I knew guys were gonna turn to extremism, right? Because when you take jobs off the table, when you take punani off the table, ninjas can't even afford to pay anymore, right? Guys can't even afford it anymore. That's just how it ends. That's how the cookie crumble. Take away money, take away punani, take away marriage, take away just take away the dream. Ninjas be dreaming about, I want me a white picket fence and a house and a wife that I can come back home to. That's done now. Ninjas can barely afford a toothbrush, ninja. They can barely afford a toothbrush. That's how bad it is now. Right? Bro, I'm a mid-millennial. Getting women isn't hard, but I know the Gen Z is more antisocial. They're cooked. It depends on who you are. I hate when people come on here and say that getting women isn't hard. That's not true. That's not true. Now, for specific people, it may not be hard. But don't just say that getting women isn't hard. That isn't true for a majority of men. Getting women isn't hard for me, right? Because I'm over 6 foot, tall, dark, and handsome, ninja. So getting women isn't hard for me, ninja. I can pull whatever I want to, right? And I know that for a fact. I'm proven in the game, ninja. I'm proven in the game, ninja. I don't care who it is, ninja. If I want a bad Latina, I'm gonna get it. If I want a bad dark-skinned chocolate queen, ninja, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna have it. If I want a nice blonde blue eyes, guess what? I'm gonna get it, ninja. I'm gonna get it because I've had them all, ninja. I've had them all. So beauty doesn't phase. I'm at a point in life where beauty doesn't phase me, bro. I didn't had it all. But I'm only speaking for myself. That's not what's going on for the majority of men. It's not. And I have the awareness to understand that. I have the awareness to understand that's not what's going on for the majority of men. Right? I've seen chicks talking to a guy and outright throw that guy to a side just so she can get the attention from me, right? So I know, listen, I ain't gonna toot my own horn, but ninja, I just know how I work my shit. I know what I can get and what, but I know for sure that's not the majority of guys, right? But anyway, it's been nice chatting with y'all, man. I got to get back to work, right? I'll check in with y'all tomorrow. Y'all be safe out here. Keep your head on the swivel. Get out here and get some money. I know it's hard out here. It's hard out here for everybody, right? Cut back spending, whatever you need to do. Come up with some new ideas, right? Invest in some AI. Look into AI. Listen, y'all better get it going, right? Check out the Patreon as well. I'm changing minds over there, right? If you want to make it in the new world, check out that Patreon. Follow me on a day-to-day basis, right? I'm dropping knowledge bombs after knowledge bombs over there on the Patreon, so check it out. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.